In July this year, I was in Manila making a documentary about the recent murders of several journalists on the Isle of Mindanao. While I was in the Philippines, I decided to spend the rest of my time checking out the diving that the islands have to offer, starting with Malapascua. Probably the hardest part of the challenge was just getting to the island. First, I flew to Cebu, the second largest city in the Philippines. From there, it was a full day's bus journey to the north of the island. Now, the bus was actually a local bus, and I was the only tourist on it, and the guy sat next to me actually had 3 chickens in his bag. Most of the actual island of Cebu is very rural, so the views from the window of the bus were absolutely gorgeous, and we stopped in some really remote villages where the bus was actually taking people their post. It was quite funny seeing sort of locals' reactions to seeing a single white female travelling on her own. It's obviously something they don't see often on the local buses. From the top of the island, I then had to take possibly the dodgiest boat journey I've ever taken across the water to Malapascua. It was an hour of extremely choppy water on a boat that just looked like it was going to fall apart at any moment, but it got us across and it then got me back the very next day. Once I got to the island, because the journey to Apo Island, where I was going to be doing some more diving, was going to take me a full 2 days, I decided to cram in as many dives as possible just into one day on the island. I signed up for my first night dive, something that I can do because I've got my advanced open water and something I would really recommend doing. And then I signed up for a 4 AM thresher shark dive and a 9 AM dive before leaving the island the very next afternoon. Morning, I am on the main beach at Malapascua. I've finished my second dive here maybe about 2.5 hours ago. It's 9 in the morning. I had to get up at 4 for a shark dive, but we did get to see a thresher shark, which is awesome. And very fitting, seeing as I'm diving with the Thresher Shark Dive School. Last night I did my first night dive, which was actually really good fun. I kind of felt like James Bond a bit, because when you're under the water all you can see is everyone's torches, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of all those spy films in a really good way. And we got to see some quite cool stuff, especially this adorably cute, it was about this big, this tiny little like purple octopus, which was really cute. And then today, this morning, as well as seeing the shark, we saw a massive octopus, so that's quite cool. I've got one more dive left on Malapascua. I head out in about 10-15 minutes, which is cool. And then I'm off to Apo Island for the second spot of diving in the Philippines. Now, Apo Island, I've been told, is like the best dive site in the Philippines, so I guess we'll just have to see what it's like. But Malapascua's been quite nice. Not heaps and heaps of wildlife out there, especially today when we were looking for the thresher shark. I think we're quite fortunate that we saw one. I've spoken to a lot of people who've been here for kind of 4 or 5 days and haven't actually seen a shark and have done that dive every morning, so they've been getting up at 4 every morning to go down into pretty much very poor visibility water with loads of floating things and stuff. So yeah, I think I've been very lucky. Unfortunately, I haven't got the casing for the camera, which is a real shame, but I will try and get one in future because obviously as Challenge Charlie carries on, I'm doing more and more water sports, so it just makes sense to get a casing for the camera so that hopefully when I do some scuba diving in future I can actually show you guys what it looks like. But anyway, I guess I better go and get my dive stuff. I shall see you again soon.